Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds, in the studio. Monday morning. Yes, I'm still grieving, but, the more bigger concern is Patrick's health. Unfortunately, that injury is going to be 9 months to a year. So it'll be lucky if he's even able to start the season for the team. But I hope this at least shook the front office and upper echelon into understanding now at this point they really need to build towards protecting him and giving him some health, because the days of he's going to just make it happen and win are over. So you got to figure out how to keep him healthy.
There's no question about that, and I'm sure that has resonated with him in the past. The MRI they're going to do today will determine the extent of the ACL tear. If it's a complete tear, you're probably right. 9 to 12 months is what it'll take, and if he's back at all next year, that'll be a big victory. Question that Andy Reid has to ask now is, you've got 3 more games to play. And you have to play him. I mean, after all, that's part of the schedule, and the players are getting their paycheck now. How does he approach that? He doesn't have the catalyst, and we've talked for the last 10 years about the fact that Mahomes is the catalyst of this team. They can't afford to lose him, and they've lost him. And I don't know about Chris Jones. He had to lie on his stomach and get... Oh, gosh, I don't know what the heck they were doing. The treatment to him was, but whatever it was, he may be limited. Well, this is a good time now, these 3 games. You have the Tennessee Titans next week. You have Christmas night with the Denver Broncos, and then you have the Raiders, and the Chiefs will beat them. They could beat them with their taxi squad. But the fact of the matter remains, it's a good chance for the younger players to get a look-see from the front office. Now, Gardner Minshew is not a younger player, but he's going to get the start at quarterback. But why not give Chris Oladikin a chance? Here's a kid from the Missouri Valley Conference, South Dakota, who played well in the conference and has been a backup with the Kansas City Chiefs. Give him a shot. See what he can do. And certainly concentrate your front office on some backup players, some depth. But that's what the Chiefs have always done. They've drafted for the depth. Unfortunately, it did catch up with them this year. I thought it was kind of curious, Mike, in watching the game yesterday. Here it is in frigid conditions. I think it was, 15, 16, 17, whatever it was up there in Kansas City. And it's the Chiefs who were the ones. Gosh, every time I looked up, there's a Chief on the ground. He's being treated. I thought, this is ridiculous. They're the team that's accustomed to this, and the Chargers aren't. Chargers aren't losing anybody. But the Chiefs, gosh, one player after another going down and getting hurt. I blame it on the weather. That's not the case. It's kind of a catch-22. And in the case of Mahomes, he has got to rethink how he plays that position. Now, he's accustomed to scrambling and running out and throwing those passes in the flat and so forth and so on. Well, that's got to come to an end, because he is now, this isn't old, but he is 31 years old, and that can catch up with you after a while. As the injury yesterday, I think, attests, he really got his cleats caught in the ground, and then when he got upended, that came down the wrong way, and the knee was already damaged anyway. So this is going to be very tough for him. But again, we'll find out from the MRI today how much longer it's going to take and what kind of healing process. I would predict, having had one myself, that he goes through the ACL and probably gets to, after the operation, he works hard. He'll get onto the rehab, and he'll probably be walking in about a month.
Yeah.
But it's getting stronger, and making sure that tissue has adhered, that's the big deal.
Hopefully we can do some things that we need to do in the off season. I said it, I've been saying it since week 2, week 3, that the team needs to break. They're definitely going to get that now. I hope that they address the running back situation. I hope they address some of the what they call success complacency, get some discipline back in that locker room, and clean up some of the mistakes and some of the penalties. And you're right, Mahomes has to rethink the way he plays, and that starts with looking left and looking right. He never looks in the flat. He's always looking downfield, always. And that you gotta have that safety valve. By the time he thinks about the safety valve, that play is so far developed, it's way too late. And he needs to be quicker just to give up and let it unfold in that regard. So there are a lot of things that need to happen. But ultimately, I wish him all the best in a speedy recovery, and thanks for 3 championships in the last 10 years. Plus, I can't never. If you're a true Chiefs fan, you can never hang your head too hard, because you know what? It's football, and that's just the way it goes.
Well, you think about this. Just think about this, because this is a total change in the lifestyle for many in this area. 10 years, you've been accustomed to following the Chiefs in the playoffs, and, you know, they're not going to win them all, but they're in the playoffs and in the hunt and all that sort of thing, and 3 championships, 4 overall, the other one back in 1970, but the fact is they had 3 championships, and I thought they were in the running for another one, but it has fallen apart, and I voiced this opinion on another outlet the other day. I said, I'm afraid I see a situation here where the Chiefs have allowed themselves to get too long a tooth and not made great changes, very much like Hank Stram did back in the early 70s, a kind of a similar note. And this was poo-pooed. No, that's not the case at all. I'm afraid it may have been. Well, we'll find out. We'll see how they come on.
I even though he threw a pick into the game yesterday, I wasn't horribly down on Minshew's performance. I think that was just a miscue, and you get thrown into that situation, and that part of the game, it's going to happen, especially with the D get like that. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm going to be real curious to see how he handles the game in Tennessee on Sunday. So we'll see. You know, still got 3 games left to play.
Interestingly enough, the Chiefs are over, get this, over the Tennessee Titans. They are a 3.5-point favorite. Now, hey, folks, look, if you're into that, don't play it.
We told you whenever the Chiefs were 5.5 against the Chargers, don't do it. But you did it anyway. If you did, I'm sorry for you. So, big, crucial week for the football Bears. And have they made their decision on who's going to be leading that team?
They have indeed. It'll be Bobby Petrino's son, Nick Petrino, who's the offensive coordinator. And I think probably that's a very good idea, too, because offense is what the Bears have done, and done so very well. Now, defensively, they can play. They're a solid football team. Over Arkansas State, they are the dog. Arkansas State's a 1.5-point favorite, but that's a pick-em game, because really the odds makers out of Las Vegas don't really know how to play this game. But still, in Texas like this, I think Petrino will do a good job. He certainly has the family circumstance. Question is, after that game, how many of them leave? Because there will be a new coach coming in, and the new coach will, I don't know who it's going to be, but he will bring in a whole new staff and so forth and so on. So we're in for a change. There isn't any question about that. Still, you enjoy it while you can and hope for a big bowl victory.
Yeah, go Bears. At the games on Thursday, we're actually going to do a watch party at Coyote. So if you're looking for something to do or you want to watch the game with us, that's where we're going to be on Thursday. You think Petrino is going to get the job after the season?
I don't know. I doubt very much that is the case. The Bears, I'm told, have been hunting for, they've had a number of applications for it, as you would expect. This is a very good stepping stone, a rung on the ladder, so to speak, and that's what Beard used it for, and he's going to another job. But we'll see. We'll see what happens, and I think we're in for just a total change in perspective.
Well, hopefully that helps with recruiting as well down the line, because it could work in our favor as well.
There's the key, recruiting.
Yeah. Among the weekend upsets, in addition to Chiefs being done for their season, there was a shocker in women's volleyball.
You have to understand how women's volleyball works in the NCAA, and the king, or queen in this case, since it is women, queen of the hill, and has been for years and years and years, is Nebraska. Every year they produce quality teams, NCAA championship teams. They've had a whole bunch of them, and they were favored this year. They go into the Elite Eight of the NCAA tournament undefeated. They are 31-0. And they take on Texas A&M yesterday, and Texas A&M beat them in 5 sets. A&M won the first 2. It's best of 5. A&M won the first 2. Nebraska came back to win the next 2, and then the 5th set is a shortened version, kind of a sudden death in a way. And Texas A&M won it 15-13 over Nebraska, and that ends Nebraska's season with a record of 31-1. That is their only loss. That is a major upset. Nebraska doesn't happen to them very often, but it did this time, and even with the championship level teams, and we're seeing that with the Chiefs and so forth, hey, it isn't forever.
Nothing is and nothing lasts forever. So in weekend college basketball, how did our guys here locally do?
Our guys and gals did not do very well. The guys played last Friday night, Mike, against Xavier in Cincinnati. And Xavier's a pretty good team. They're Big East, coached by Richard Pitino. His dad, Rick Pitino, of course, is one of the great coaches in American history. But Richard Pitino's team is pretty good. The Bears stayed with them. And they were in there basket for basket, trailed by only, 4 or 6 at halftime, I think it was, but don't have quite the depth to be able to play with some of these other teams. And Xavier got the win out of that one on Friday. Lady Bears played Arkansas over at the Great Southern Bank Arena on Saturday afternoon, and Arkansas got the better of them 73-58. So a good win for the Lady Backs from Fayetteville. Now the Bears will play again tomorrow night. They'll be taking on Oral Roberts over at the Great Southern Bank Arena. That's a big test for the Bears. And then tomorrow night, the Lady Bears will play on Friday, and they're playing Gonzaga, and the Gonzaga women's team is very good. That'll be a Friday night game. The Drury Lady Panthers are playing tonight. They're in Jackson, Tennessee to play Union, and that's a big test for the Drury Lady Panthers, who are 6-4 on the year.
Ned, you have a wonderful Monday, and I will see you tomorrow.